God cares about the poor. In Leviticus 23:22, he says, "When you harvest the crops of your land, do not harvest the grain along the edges of your fields, and do not pick up what the harvesters drop. Leave it for the poor and the foreigners living among you. I am the Lord your God." God shows us in this verse his love and care for the poor and for the immigrant. Another thing that God shows us, that he doesn't just care about the poor and he doesn't just care about the immigrant. He calls us to also care for the poor and care for the immigrant. Out of the abundance, it's talking about the harvest, out of the abundance of what he's given us, he asks us to also give and to leave space for. So I think this leaving space for and caring for come in two ways. One is in the physical. When you think of the physical, I think of our ability to use the abundance that he has to help others. In a business context, it can look like creating possibly an apprenticeship program where someone comes alongside and learns the trades. Whether it be in the white-collar world and you have people making copies that are in high school, or whether it's in the blue-collar world and you're taking someone along to learn how to make plumbing fixtures. It also can look like creating entry-level positions where you say in your business, I need somebody to do janitorial work, and you don't have to have a high school diploma. I work in the inner city, and I've run into many people that don't have high school diplomas, and so creating pathways for them to get out of poverty through the abundance and through the resources we have is a great opportunity. I think the other implication is in our spiritual lives. In our spiritual lives, we have come to God poor. None of us has anything. We come and we say, God, I need you. Jesus, I receive all that you have for me. And so he asks us to make margins in our lives to welcome the poor that are poor spiritually. This can happen through, one, thinking of the people that are in our spheres of influence, whether they be coworkers, whether they be friends, whether they be neighbors, maybe their family, and making time to pray for them, making time maybe once a week to eat with them or to spend time with them. And thirdly, to share in a monthly way, maybe once a month, share your faith story or share the gospel with somebody that doesn't know Christ. In obeying Jesus and making space for people on the margins, we'll be like Boaz. Boaz obeyed God, and what did God do in return? God blessed him and sent him Ruth, this faithful, hardworking, kind, generous, beautiful woman who would become the mother of Obed, who would eventually become the grandfather of King David, who would eventually become the forerunner of Jesus, our Messiah in Christ. By Boaz's obedience, God blessed him and his name is remembered. Let's be that kind of person. God bless.